Age, coached by Nice Guy Smile. Fantastic team that we have right there. For the top lane, we've got Gentle Cat. For the jungle, we've got Ideal Spark. For the mid lane, we've got Nice Girl Smile. For the AD carry position, we've got Jif. And for the support, we've got Able Gamer. And flipping it on over, to Le Toucan Hunters, we've got that coached by Mr. Mighty Monkey. And for the top lane, we've got the Asian Creeper. For the jungle, we've got Funk MD. For the mid lane, we've got It's Party Time. And for the bot lane duo, we've got Toxery at 80 carry and Meow the Great at support. So, for your entertainment, last week we had the coaches come on and give us a little insight on their teams, but today we're actually going to swap it around a little bit. We have the 80 carry from Golden Age as well as the mid laner from Le Toucan Hunters here with us tonight. We've got Jif and Party Time. How are you doing, guys?
Well, I'm doing all right.
Pretty good.
Sounds good. All right, so I'm just going to quickly ask you guys a couple questions about your experience here and figure out what you guys have accomplished and succeeded in so far throughout the Learning Fives program. So, Jif, I'm going to go ahead and direct the first question at you. So, what were you expecting, if you were expecting anything, coming into the Learning Fives program at the beginning of the session?
Just pretty much how to learn better at teamwork, how to control different parts of the game and stuff like that, and just play League of Legends with other people who want to play League of Legends.
Fantastic. And what about you, Party Time?
Well, at the very least, I was expecting some great guys to play with, and I definitely found that. And our coach is pretty cool, too.
Great. So now that you have talked a little bit about your expectations coming into this program, what do you think you guys have succeeded the most at as a team? Whether it be, communication or just teamwork in general, maybe you guys have, gone strong in sort of your team composition building or stuff like that. What do you feel that has been the most successful accomplishment for you throughout this? Party Time, I'll let you go first.
Identifying the strengths of your team comp, because it's not really something you approach in solo queue. Everyone picks what they're best at and everyone wants to carry, but with this you develop a strategy, you come up with a style, and you just find those strengths for your team comp and use them to your advantage.
All right, and what about you, Jeff?
Essentially learning how to communicate properly, like make a hierarchy of call order, like who you should listen to and stuff like that, and how to make calls together as a team.
Yeah, most definitely. I think one of the biggest things that people find struggling is when you have half the people going one direction and the other half going another. So establishing that line of communication is extremely important. So now, you've seen strengths. What about weaknesses? What do you feel like has been the biggest difficulty for you, either as a player or as a team itself, Jeff?
Well, we didn't have a coach for like 2 weeks, so that was kind of rough. But as a team, mostly it's just kind of listening to each other and making the right calls.
All right, and then what about you, Party Time?
We've been having to coordinate with a lot of subs. Our top laner only speaks Korean, and our jungler is a little rusty, but it's all right. It's working out.
Well, good. It seems like you guys are extremely positive, extremely geared up for this. So I'll go ahead and get right into the last question so you guys can get back with your team and start figuring out what you're going to do for this match. So, Party Time, you are on the side of the Toucan Hunters. What are you most excited for coming into the match series today?
I'm excited to see what other people are able to bring out, because I know what we can bring. And after this, maybe I'll be excited to play against some real competition. So.
Oh, already throwing the shots. And Jif, your response?
I'm excited to win.
All right, so both teams extremely confident. Thank you guys so much. I'll go ahead and throw you back down to your teams right here to go right back at it. But guys, we are going to go ahead and hop right into Champ Select. We're going to go ahead and give these guys the go ahead. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. He's going to lead us into the Champ Select. Going to go ahead and get this started. I've got my good friend, Mr. Joshua Piscator Lee, with us today. What's up, bud?
Thank you so much for the great introduction, Jump. And yes, we are live for the NA show match between Team Le Toucan Hunters and Team Golden Age. So getting right into pick ban, we have Team Golden Age on the blue side. They did want it spelled like that, so if you're talking about in the chat how we spelled it wrong, nope, that's how they requested it. Le Toucan Hunters on the red side. Just to remind everybody, this is a best of 2 series, so that each team has a chance to adapt and change their strategy according to what happened in Game 1, because that's a huge part of League of Legends. So lots of target bans are possible, but that's something that we discourage in Game 1 of these Learning 5 show matches.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of one-trick ponies. There's a lot of, different, I guess, setups that these players all have. And so making sure that all of them are, in sync and focusing on the learning, because this is the Learning Fives program. This is something where people can band together, people can get together and actually strive in a setting which is very educational, clean, and a healthy environment. And so, making sure that you don't do these hardcore focus bands is definitely going to be something that we want to keep in contact and keep in check.
And like all awesome League of Legends broadcasts, occasionally we have some connection errors and have players disconnect at untimely times. So ladies and gentlemen, just hang on for a few minutes. We're going to turn on some music, get our players back into the lobby. We'll be right back in a few.
The world is relentless, the city won't sleep. It hardens your soul, brings you to your knees. But we can face it all. With our fearless hearts, we could be ours, and we could live for 1,000 years. We could be legends. If we all go down, if our time is now, we could let everyone know we were here. We could be legends.
Thanks for
All right.
everybody's patience. Good game to everybody. Nah, we're still going to be able to show both matches now that our players are relogged and ready to go. Fizz and Morgana, the first two bands that came out, they're going to have to stick to that. No changing it willy-nilly just because you got an idea of what they wanted to do. So we're going to have them committed to that, keep the integrity of the game, and getting right into pick and ban.
Yeah, going ahead and getting Fizz right off the table. He's a monster right now in the top lane. With all the rise of the tank top laners, especially with when you see, the Shen and whatnot pop up, taking Fizz off the table is going to be very, very helpful to your team. And, especially with whatever team comp you see. We've seen a big rise in the Learning Fives program gearing towards teamfight comps, especially in the lower elos. These teams are between Silver 3 and Gold 4, so they are on the lower end of the spectrum. But we found that they tend to prefer these team fighting comps. The quality press R and win Sivir compositions that you see with a lot of teams is definitely something that they're going to be wary of and they're going to be trying to gear for. But Victor and Shyvana taken off the table as well. Victor, a very strong control mage, and Shyvana, they're just not wanting to deal with all that Devourer damage.
Right, and for those of you asking about the rank of the teams and the players, this is between Silver and Gold, just to give you a general ballpark of exactly where these players are on the solo queue ladder. But yeah, like you said, a lot of teams favoring the whole click R, point everybody in the right direction and everybody going at once. But then again, we have had coaches and teams in the program who really force their players to play different styles. I know Ozdog's team, I think for 2 weeks, he only let them play like poke and kite comp. So definitely flexing muscles in areas where players may be a little uncomfortable. But Shen being the first one picked up on behalf of Golden Age.
Yeah, you've got the Shen taken up by Gentle Cat right there, but Asian Creeper responding with a Maokai, so the noodle fight in the top lane is going to be most certainly happening for at least the first 30 minutes of the match right there. We've got FunkMD right here hovering over the Nautilus. I kind of like this pick a lot. He's going to go ahead and lock that in. Nautilus, a very strong bot lane pick right now. He just brings the tanky stats and he brings everything. And look, here we go. This is what I'm saying. These team fight compositions, it looks like already you've got Golden Age going with this kind of Jugger Jinx comp. You've got the Shen in the top lane. He's going to have all kinds of damage. They're going to stick Jiff on an 80 carry and already putting, a lot of confidence in their 80 carry by picking this Jinx so early in the composition. I mean, you have the Maokai as well as the Nautilus done up, and so there is already some really good, dive potential for you, but mix that in with an Annie right here and already a very, very strong composition coming out of Golden Age.
And there's a good chance this Annie goes mid lane as well. Nice Girl Smile definitely prefers the Annie in the mid lane. We don't see a lot of Annies in mid lane typically due to the mobility that she lacks. She's really easily exploited. But the fact that her Tibbers and her burst damage and her scaling itself is really not that bad at all, considering her ratios are absolutely ridiculous. So we could be seeing this go mid. Actually, a good chance that it does, because why wouldn't you put somebody on one of their comfort champs? But Diana and Tristana, the response is coming out to a lot of tower pushing and a lot of assassination potential coming out of Toucan Hunters.
Yeah, party time is very is known across his team and across some of the other teams and members within not only the Summoner School community but the Learning Fives community as well, that he loves that Diana mid. When the Runeclave Diana mid was a thing, that was definitely something that he thought of. But another thing too that we have to think about, Funk MD in his back pocket, he holds Diana
Holy
as
team
well.
fight.
Whoa, my God, we're gonna get that to a second. But Funk MD loves the Diana pick. He really strives on making sure to get really far ahead and pushing the advantage that way, and that's definitely the way you can do it. But we've got a Jarvan as well as a Zac pickup. So my first assumption for this, it's going to be a Shen support, and they're going to stick Jarvan possibly in this top lane. I don't know. We're going to have to wait to see what happens once the trade comes out, but my God, is this a wombo combo kind of team that we're seeing come out of Golden Age?
Yeah, there are a lot of flexes possible. At first, I was trying to wonder who exactly was going to go where before I realized that Shen support is a thing. But that Jarvan in the top lane, a lot of players like it because of the snowballing potential, the high base damages that Jarvan offers. Players like Gamsu in the LCS liking that Jarvan to really hard carry from the top lane. Asian Creeper being on more of a tank utility kind of top laner in the form of Maokai. You can never really go wrong with that. But a lot of lockdown coming from Toucan Hunters as well. But this how this Golden Age team can just everybody presses R at the same time, and you're pretty much assuming that the squishies on behalf of the Toucan Hunters are going to die, because a lot of their damage, well, all their damage is very, very, very squishy.
No, you're absolutely correct. They do have a lot of squishiness, but at the same time, if they can find a way to, synchronize all of their ultimates, it's going to be very damaging, I guess, to use the horrible pun in that regard. But GentleCat, I want to see if he decides to go for this 80 Jarvan right here, because that's going to be a huge important concept of this early game, because one of the things that you see coming out of Asian Creeper as well is most certainly going to be, his ability to tank up once he gets those items. But if GentleCat can really push Asian Creeper out of the way, then that's going to be a very telltale sign. But I think the story's going to match is most certainly going to be this jungle right here. FunkMD, like I said, he is a Diana player. He's going to go ahead and go for that jungle. And, she, especially with having a Diana, is going to have a lot of counter jungle pressure right there, because if he can catch Idle Spark in the wrong position, then all he has to do is just use the knockup, pull Idle Spark out of the Zac jump, and just continue to wreak havoc from there. So already two very strong storylines that we have coming into this game. But guys, we're going to go ahead and head it off into a break. We got about 2 minutes left on the delay. When we come back, we've got Team Golden Age versus Toucan Hunters for Game 1 of the Best of 2 series for the Learning Fives Summer Showmatch. We'll be right back.
Will I become what I became again? Will I become what I became when we were only friends? If not, I think I might just write again. 'Cause I remember when you said it's the smartest way if all we stay as friends. Stay as friends. Just a trend. Will I become the nothingness that you would call your friend? If not, I think I'll play best friends.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our coverage of the North American Learning Fives program between our show match of Golden Age and Toucan Hunters, jumping right into the game as our players load onto the Rift, introducing our two teams. On the blue side, we have Golden Age, Gentle Cat in the top lane, Ideal Spark in the jungle, Nice Girl Smile in the mid lane, Jif on ADC, and Able Gamer on support.
And for the side of Toucan Hunter, we've got in the top lane Asian Creeper, Funk MD rocking in the jungle. It's party time on the Ari mid lane, and for the bot lane duo, we've got Toxery and Meow the Great.
Now immediately, I want to talk about this Shen support a little bit, because in our loading intermission, we saw a lot of people in chat kind of decrying the choice of putting Shen in the bot lane with this Jinx, but I actually like it, and I think we can both talk about that for a little bit, as long as nothing too crazy level 1 happens.
Yeah, I mean, I really do like it with this composition. You know, it's very seldom that you have a champion that can just, you know, dash through and pretty much get a guaranteed form of CC, and that's something that Shen brings to this team composition. You know, Asian Creeper and Funk MD, along with Meow the Great, yes, have the ability to go in and really dive hard into this, but whereas you know, kind of have to worry about the bounce from Zac as well as Gentle Cat's, you know, flag and drag kind of situation, you literally just have to use the Shen dash to really cancel a lot of the things that's going in. So I, you know, actually really like this decision to put Shen in this bot lane right here. Both supports are actually going with exhaust, so we might not see as much of the crazy all-in as what we see across the pro scene, but at the same time, I really think that both teams have the late game to really make this an exciting match.
Definitely true. Shen, not somebody you want to dive in and get right to your face. The taunt can be absolutely changing in a team fight, but no real early invades coming in. Something we don't typically see happen in our lower ranked matches, considering the amount of coordination and map awareness that it takes. Is a little difficult to instill within a couple-week period in some of the newer players, but both junglers going to get a leash from their good guy bot lanes.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and start both of them on this bot side, so I want to see exactly what they're going to do right here. You know, once they hit that level 3, get both buffs and go into it. But already we're seeing our first discrepancy right here. The Asian Creeper not doing the classic sapling Maokai start, but instead is just going to decide to go straight to lane. Going to try to freeze it as best he can. It actually is pushing in his favor right here, so this isn't necessarily the best position for that, but Gentle Cat going to go ahead, get his level 2 right there. He's going to go back. He's going to have enough money to actually get the boots if he wants to, or he might decide to just get a cloth armor and go for that. No, he's actually just going to stack up on pots, going to go ahead and be good guy, stealth forward right there, and head on right back to lane.
Gonna try and out-sustain this Maokai the old-fashioned way, pots on pots. This mid lane matchup is gonna be really interesting because both of these champions can snowball so hard. Stana might be getting an early snowball on as Able Gamer takes a big chunk from the explosive charge at level 2. Shen support, one of the big problems, you don't have a lot of money to get tanky real fast, so that hurts a lot early on.
Yeah, he's going to have a little bit of sustain, but generally he's not going to be auto-attacking, so he won't be able to fully utilize the Kai Strike passive as well as the Vorpal Blade right there. But no, you know, this is something that a lot of people kind of underestimate, especially when it comes to Tristana right here. You know, that explosive charge does a whole lot of damage if not used correctly. Or not avoided correctly, should I say, and that's exactly what they didn't do right there. We're able to chunk it down. Toxari already doing a good job of getting this early lead right here, and this is what it's going to take. I mean, you've got two very good late game scaling AD carries. You know, Jinx by far is known as the better one just because of the AoE damage that she can pull out with her rockets, but already, you know, ensuring an early start and trying to do everything you can to set back that Jinx is going to definitely prove helpful in the end.
Coming up at just about 4 minutes. This bot lane might be drawing jungle attention soon. But I wonder where Ideal Spark and Funk MD are going to focus their efforts, because they're both of the mid laners definitely have very good gank follow-up. As long as Funk MD and Ideal Spark can land that CC, they can chain it with the Charm or the anti-stun and get an early kill, so that can be a lot.
No, it's definitely a lot, and there's a lot of all-in potential, especially once they hit level 6 right here. But I kind of like how Ideal Spark went back first, and he actually got the Stalker's Blade. So he'll have the blue buff for longer, have his CDR for a little bit right there. He's going to roam up, actually. He might actually catch Punk MD out right here.
And the mid bot lane, they're fighting out. The junglers trying to meet each other, give each other some early love. Ideal Spark actually just going to go for this, going in for the electric slingshot, actually back under the tower. Little misleading, might have been a little brave there.
He might have before the game tattooed like a message on his side, so that way when he went by, they were going to be able to see it, kind of like a blimp flying through the air. You're going to die soon, something like that. I don't know, but the fear factor is real. Party Time though, not backing up, not wanting to do anything with any way right there, and we're already seeing just so much jungling right now by these junglers. You know, generally both of these junglers are very good, you know, coming into this gank with some good follow-up CC, which every lane actually has, and so, you know, a very good job by them to farm up, but I want to see them try to be a little bit more aggressive. Funk MD going to do a good job securing Mr. Krabs and his twin in the top and bot lane right here, trying to figure something out, trying to get something.
Ooh.
And
bot lane goes in for a fight. Meow the Great landed a hook onto Jiff, and looks like Able Gamer comes in with a taunt of their own, so both ADCs getting chunked down low, but the pot advantage definitely in favor of Toxelry. They keep taking a couple more dredge lines like that. It could be an early first blood for Tristana, which could lead to some very early towers. And I'm sure that Golden Age doesn't want any of that.
yeah, and while that was going on right there, you actually had Ideal Spark going into the mid lane. He drops a Chilling Smite down right before Party Time hit that mid tower. Nice Girl Smile and Party Time both flashed at the exact same time. So the mid flashes are down right here, and, you know, coming up on level 6, this is going to be really detrimental right here. Party Time actually hit 6 before. Nice Girl Smile, should I say. She's only about 2 minions off right there, but having a flash down on an Annie, even though you've got a lot of burst potential right there, if Party Time hits the right combination, Nice Girl Smile might be dead before he gets a chance to respond.
And that's the tricky thing about Annie. Sure, she has a lot of burst, and the AoE on her stun is absolutely insane. But she's still flash reliant. That's Ideal Spark, not very flash reliant. Everybody chaining CC onto the Nautilus. But the flash going to keep him alive. The dredge line, he's so smart to hook onto the terrain to not give up first blood early on. So 0-0 so far as the top lane gets into a bit of an aggressive fight. Ultimate still up for both. Gentle Cam may be looking to go for an all-in. That burst coming from the Cataclysm and the Jarvan can be very misleading, but Toxelry force the rocket jump out. Tristana so good at self-peel.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, you know, you just love about Tristana, because you can just rocket jump around, you know, pretty much doing whatever you want right here. But, you know, flipping over to this top lane right now, Gentle Cat's done a really good job at, you know, denying a lot of XP from, not XP, sorry, from farm, from Asian Creeper right now. He's down about a wave and a half right here. The wave is pushing in his favor, so he'll be able to catch up a little bit. He actually ended up going double Dorns right here, wanting to make sure to have the sustain, wanting to make sure that he doesn't get bullied out by that J4. But, you know, this really good farming that you're seeing come out of Gentle Cat, he's got about 1,500 in the bank right here. He's probably going to wait, go back, might get a Tiamat of some sort, and then that's when the damage is really going to start coming down and really trying to put the hurt on Asian Creeper.
To everybody talking in the chat about the champ select, I know everybody has a little something to say about the pick and ban, but we really want and encourage these teams to focus more on macro play. Pick ban is something that can be relatively easily solved, but a lot of these players rather don't have the deepest champion pools out there. In these situations, coaches generally advise, hey, just go with the champion you're comfortable on. We can see that being evident in Nice Girl Smile's Annie pickup. And macro play is something that's way easier to work on once you're actually on a champion that you know how to play well. So something definitely to keep in mind as you're watching the program.
Oh yeah, I mean, comfortability is definitely something that a lot of people really undervalue in a lot of senses. It's like, oh, you know, the meta's here, Victor's, you know, in the meta, Victor's doing a very good job right now. I should, you know, just play him and see how it happens. But, you know, if you've only played 4 or 5 games on him, then you're not going to be as successful of, you know, if you've played, you know, 400 games on Ari, of that sort. So that's definitely something that these coaches have taken into effect coming into this session, is that, you know, you have people doing stuff, trying to get something here, but
Annie, no flash on this Annie, gonna be real bad, and this stun timing not good enough, so First Blood actually makes it over to its party time. Gonna party on back to base with that early dragon. Early kill, rather. Early gold is what I was gonna say.
Hey, early gold. She's putting the pop star in effect. She can dance, dance, dance all day. That's a First Blood, and that's probably the latest First Blood that we've had in the entire program right here. A very good job by LTH to just get things going, FunkMD, and this is what happens, you know, when you have a Tristana, when you have a Diana that starts to get ahead, starts to get something going, then you're going to be very successful. I like this itemization by FunkMD. IdleSpark trying to do something. He's showing that tattoo again as he does the exact same ballistic slingshot as he did the last time, but I really like the itemization that FunkMD pulled out. He actually decided to go for the Sheen before he finished the Hunter's Machete upgrade, and that's going to allow him to just do a lot more, you know, upfront damage with his combinations, and when it comes to ganking, that's exactly what you want. Pulled it off right there, and party time, you know, already soft to a good start.
Nice Girl Smile, however, keeping the CS lead. Then again, most would say that Annie has an easier time against Ari than most champions. CS across the map, only real difference in the top lane. Able to get a nice shadow dash onto Nautilus. Also, actually looking to still engage this. Finishes a backup out of there before anybody gets any crazy ideas. But it is interesting that you said that we haven't had a whole lot of blood yet, because I feel like in these Learning 5 programs, people are so eager to play on stream, eager to play with some of their friends that they recognize as part of Summoner School, and everybody's just wanting to go in all day, every day. But 1 kill so far in the first 10 minutes. This is looking much more like LCS pacing, but it looks like, as we're saying that, Nice Girl Smile gets deleted. With the Diana-Ari combo, these ladies having nothing to do with this little girl. 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, again, another really good gank right there, and this is the difficulty that you have when you know, play someone like an Annie who, outside of her flash, is fairly immobile. I mean, yeah, you can get the stuns off, but it's going to take a lot of coordination with all the mobility coming out of both FunkMD and Party Time right there. So a really good job. That's going to get them off to a really good start right here. And you mix in the sight stones coming out of Meow the Great, and all they're going to have to do is get a couple extra little wards right here, and this is going to be a very easy dragon about 11 minutes in.
Chat saying they need to shut down that Diana. A little bit tricky when she gets that gold early. Nobody gets rolling quite like the Moon Lady, and it looks like they're going to get some other people rolling as well, as everybody going after Gentle Cat. The Charm landing at max range ensures the kill, going over to the Asian Creeper in the top lane on Maokai. A little behind in CS, but that 300 gold definitely going to be a welcome addition to the bank.
Oh yeah, I mean, FunkMD dispersing the wealth right there, getting a kill on himself, but not only doing that, but securing one for here. But a beautiful reaction right there on the side of GA to just go straight for that dragon. They understood that Diana was top. They're hard pushing this top lane turret. They're going to get it. Actually, no, they might not be able to get it in time because you do have the teleport still available from Gentle Cat, but a fantastic dragon response right there, pushing themselves in, going to be able to get that dragon. Try to help out a little bit by getting that early 1-0 lead on that, but Tower's going to go down in the top lane right there. Going to get credited to both the mid and the jungler, and here we go. But oh, Nice Girl Smile wanting some more blood himself.
And the mid lane party lane actually forcing on the defensive this time. No cooldowns available for this. Annie might have gone a little too deep as Party Time turns it right around onto Annie's face. She used her W right before she went in, and I think she didn't realize that all she had was her Disintegrate up and no Incinerate, so just barely making it away with 20 health.
Yeah, you might be a miner, but the tower's not really caring that too much about it right there. His takes the tower shot. That pretty much was enough to kill it, enough to secure the deal. My jokes are getting a little bit better, a little bit slower at the pace, but they're still getting better all the same right there. A good chompers by Asian Creeper to get stopped up, and we're going back into it. I was good. I haven't done that one in a while. I haven't done that in a while. You have to laugh at that one.
We always have to have fun on our broadcast, but Ideal Spark not having fun here. And he jumps right into even more CC. Floplets are out. Long cooldown on those as Jif and Able Gamer trying to keep it alive. Not good enough. Jello cleaned up. Jif gets knocked up. The communication coming out of Asian Creeper a little too slow for them to stay alive, and they turn around, get a kill with the Super Mega Death Rocket. Trader Tower in the top lane, though, as it looks like Team GA finally picks up their first kill of the game, but Toxilry and Meow the Great still have their eyes on this bot tower, but my goodness.
It's not over yet, though.
Not over yet. Toxilry, so many tower shots. No ultimate from Jif up. So, oh my gosh, Meow the Great just walked into that. I don't think they have the burst damage or the speed, but party time in the mid lane, getting dove on by Gentle Cat, and Nice Girl Smile just chaining the CC left and right. Annie getting a little revenge for all the misery she was being put through in the first 13 minutes. So a little bit of a swing back in Golden Age's favor.
Yeah, they're starting to play to their initials and finally start a little bit of a revive right there. Good job by them to try to get something off right here. Toxilry and Meow the Great are going to get pushed back a little bit, but you've got such good wave clear coming out of those Tristana rockets that it's going to make things a lot easier for them to do it in that regard right here. They're going to try to push in the mid lane as well, but it's not going to do too much as Asian Creeper responds, tries to get around. A really good job by Gentle Cat to get that tower. Oh, Jif, I'm
Jif
not
took
sure
the front line, but the Great Taunt coming out. Toxilry still chasing, jumping in, but the heal comes out, trying to kite away, and the Vorpal Blade doing work, keeping the sustain going as Meow the Great gonna get tagged by the Zap, and Ideal Spark gets revenge for the kill he gave up earlier. This bot tower surely is meant for another world at this point.
Yeah, some really good proactive strategies by LTH at the very beginning. Proved inefficient right here as GA has done a fantastic job to come get themselves back right now. They're going to put themselves up 2 towers to 1. They're actually up in gold now by about 500, and this is Golden Age starting to create a Golden Age of their own coming into the mid game.
That one was way better. I like that one.
It was a little bit of a... I was trying to make a Civ 5 reference, but it just didn't work out necessarily.
I never played Civ 5.
No?
Too much time studying, maybe. That's
It's
not
just
true
that-
either. But taking a look at where the gold is right now, it's nice to note that they do have a gold lead, but a lot of times we forget to point out exactly where that gold is going, and there's 1,000 more on Jif as opposed to Toxilry. And getting that Jinx rolling early, you think Tristana is good at taking towers. Jinx can give her a good run for her money, especially when she gets fed early on in the game when you don't really expect all that attack speed. And the first real spike coming out with the Infinity Edge. Asian Creeper in deep, a decent amount of vision in that jungle side, but Punk MD gets taunted under tower. That's a lot of free damage, and the CC being chained left and right. Nice Girl Smile turning this game around for herself. It looks like Jif forcing a flash out of Toxilry in the bot lane. No tower to retreat to, so this Tristana has to be very, very careful. As GA, they tied up the game.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job right there. Nice Girl Smile finally starting to, pull herself back into this, start doing a very good job. And you're right, you almost have an item completed on Nice Girl Smile. You've got the Infinity Edge completed on Jinx, as well as Gentle Cat doing a good job at, doing his own thing and completing that Ravenous Hydra. So already you've got some really good team fight items that are built up, built out, and ready to rock and roll right here. So, you started to see some really good plays right here by Latukan Hunters, but GA doing an even better job at coming right back in this. But that being said, what I want to touch upon is going to be the ward coverage, actually, that you're seeing out of both teams right here. Yes, they prioritize kind of the top side of the map, but if you want to look at the deep wards right there coming out of Latukan Hunters, that's a really good job to, move around and figure out exactly where Ideal Spark is going to go. You've got Dragon spawning in about 40 minutes, so it's going to prove a little bit invaluable at this point in time, but still, wanting to try to acquire that deep vision is extremely proactive and a very good map sense by them.
Team fighting prowess from both teams is real. We'll see which team really takes advantage of this. Scuttle advantage goes to GA, so that extra mobility on the immobile carries like Annie and Jinx definitely going to be useful for the next minute. Looks like Team LTH The Toucan Hunters not quite wanting to give this up for free, and why would they? Looks like they're actually going to force a rotation in mid lane, saying, hey, maybe we can give up this dragon. It's only dragon number 2 of the game, rather, in exchange for the global gold and map pressure that a mid-tier 1 can offer. But they're just sitting on rewards right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they want to do this, really. I mean, you've got Ari that's kind of low on mana right now, and you've got such a strong engage coming out of Gentlecat and Ideal Spark right now. Like, yes, you have the kind of squishies coming out of Gentlecat, but if he hits the right targets, he can do some really good AoE damage with that Ravenous Hydra there. They're going to rotate around and try to do something. They're doing a really, you know, extended dragon dance right here, pushing back and forth between the river as well as the mid lane, but they don't need to be doing it for long. As you look up in the top lane, look at how many caster minions you have. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 caster minions. That's going to be a huge, huge, huge wave coming up and adjusting this top lane. But
oh, great taunt as they get a pick onto Funk MD. Getting Diana out of the fight. Going to be huge. No jungler, no smite. Doesn't take a genius to do that kind of math, and it looks like GA going to take that advantage and rotate over to the pit. LTH pretty much realizing, uh-oh, I think we just gave that up.
yeah, you're not going to be hunting toucans for a while right there. 10-second death timer left right there on Funk MD. That's going to put the second dragon in favor of Golden Age, and they have propelled themselves out of the depths, have done a fantastic job at pushing themselves back into the lead in this game. They're only rocking about a 400 lead, but when you've got the team fight composition coming out of them and you slowly drag this game on to get more items, that's a very scary composition they have that you don't want to fight.
One of the things a lot of lower level players have trouble with is pushing their advantage, but it looks like they're going to use the advantage of the tower to get some damage onto Gentlecat. Asian Creeper taking a lot as Nice Girl Smile goes on a killing spree. Everybody coming around the backside. Funk MD looking for a target, and the Moonfall lands on 3. Burst damage so strong coming out of LTH. They're turning it right back around. 7-6 and kills so far, but GA forced to go on the run, not quite able to pick up that tower after the dragon. It looks like they actually clean up 2. So both teams not wanting to give it up just yet as they're continuing to push, knowing that each of the 2 players on GA side going to be down for an additional 20 seconds.
It doesn't matter how good you do, it matters more how hard you throw right here. And oh my goodness,
oh, they're still not done. Everybody wants to fight as Party Time gets 2. But getting the Jinx more fed is going to be a bad news bears for later on in the game. Still chasing solo Jinx, actually tags the minion instead. No tower picked up on behalf of the Toucan Hunters, as GA puts a little more gold into their pockets, keeping the gold lead. Gold disparity at just
English
100. English
okay.
so hard.
I know you speak Korean, so you know the English is a little bit difficult sometimes, but the Toucan Hunters right there sometimes upping their meme status. You know, you're going to become overzealous, so we're going to do it right back. You know, trying to keep the hold on the ultimate memery right there, as we know, is extremely prevalent in all of the Learning 5's situations in general. But you're right, 2 kills right there onto the Jinx. She's actually going to continue to push this mid tower. This is a really good job. It's only got about 900 health left and 26 gold right there on that Jinx. They're going to get this tower. She can go back and buy a Phantom Dance if she wants to. That's going to be scary.
Yeah, that mid-game spike where Jinx picks up those 2 items and starts getting those resets and running around so fast. It's going to be so tricky for the Toucan Hunters, but they still continue to play this 5-on-5. Let's just stare each other down the mid lane game. We haven't seen any crazy teleports come in from either of the top laners. That looks like Gentlecat finally going to acknowledge the fact that he has to teleport up, keep this wave pushing top. As everybody else, not a whole lot to fight over at the moment. Wave stacking up mid lane, gonna push into the mid tier 2. Like Ping's actually going down towards Baron. It is live at 21 minutes, a little early as Party Time gets caught out. Actually, Gentlecat gets caught out rather, juking around, but meets 3 others. Not sure if that's the way you want it to go, buddy, as Party Time goes on a killing spree. Gentlecat down for 30 as it looks like they're gonna try and get vision all around this objective.
I think that's going to be a Baron. Oh my god, this is going to be really big for them. Yeah, they spotted Ideal Spark right there. They pinged perfectly on the pink ward. They see him. They're not going to be able to do anything. They even have the vision right there from the Wolf Smite. This is going down really, really fast right there. The Super Mega Death Rocket's not going to do it.
Only chance of them picking it up has been eradicated as they go in. Shen unable to go. So that first Baron going to go over to Lucan. Toucan Hunters rather. 2 going down so far. Just 1. 1 was the Baron as they look to continue the fight. Onto GA, but it looks like they're going to pick up the Baron, pick up the 1 kill, and just back up out of there. Gold Leaf going slightly in favor of LTH at this point in the game, and this just might give them the extra pushing power that they need to put GA on the ropes.
Oh yeah, this is a very, very smart decision that they had right there. The second that they spotted out Ideal Spark passing that pink ward, as well as the smite buff that you have coming from the wolves right there, they went straight for Baron. They have plenty of enough damage. Party time actually started at a half a second early right there, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Toxelry was able to crank out a lot of damage. Funk MD as well. Not only does he have the Runeglaive finish, but he's also got the zoners right now. 2, 3, and 8 right here. That's a pretty good KDA by a jungler standards. Having 8 assists already, trying to do something. Party time though, knocking down at Ideal Spark. He might, nope, he's just going to decide to disengage. He actually had the Spirit Rush available. He probably would have been able to kill him. You don't really have a lot of magic resist on the side of this sack right now, so this isn't something you want to deal with, really. You've got Dragon up in about a minute 25 right here, so, you know, you're still going to be able to have a good team fight in that regard, as the Baron doesn't really help you in outside of the minions, really, at this point. So they're going to get Cuddle Crab right here and try to find something to do, but they're going to have to do something, and something quick, because they're just getting out-rotated right now by Latukan Hunters.
Rotations, rotations, rotations. Hard to push these waves out when they're all colored purple. At least they're not the black market brawler type of minions. I know you haven't played the game yet, but those are absolutely ridiculous with minion. They're like so massive. It looks like a blue buff, a whole bunch of blue buffs just running down the mid lane, except they're all purple and shieldy. But 40 seconds on that dragon timer. So it looks like LTH setting up camp first. GA not wanting to give this up though. But having that extra AP and AD from the Baron buff is going to be tricky to deal with, especially when you have so much burst coming out of Funk MD. And even Toxelry, the burst coming out of a Tristana, very deceptive, as it looks like they're going to actually push that wave down bottom. Rotate to the tower, pick up something for their efforts.
Yeah, they're actually going to do a little bit of a base race right here. Asian Creeper's going to try to stop what best he can right now, but they're actually going to dive him down. Oh,
dive him down, 5v1, a dive not too complicated when you have all of that burst damage coming out. As they're pushing, they're pushing, they're pushing. Who's going to get there first? Tristana takes towers fast, yes, but Jinx's auto attack stacked very, very fast as well. It's like nobody's backing up just yet. As party time actually gets dove here. He might be forced to make a rotation. This is going to be tricky. If this game ends up ending like this, I don't know what to say to both of these teams. Looks like Nice Girl Smile finally electing to back.
Oh, they're going to push, they're going to push, they're going to
Oh, they're still going, they're still going. Are they going to stop somebody? But they're not.
Oh, they're going to have to do it. Yeah, they're going to have to do it. No,
there's 5 people in the base, but it looks like one person is going to back on behalf of GA to try and stop this rotation. Everybody actually going to back after they trade inhibitors. What a situation we have here.
Oh my god. You know, chat's questioning is this the ELCS, and you know, it's kind of a valid point right there. I don't think they should have stopped backing. Yeah, you've got really good towering potential, or tower pushing potential coming out of a Tristana, but you've got more attack speed in the Phantom Dancer on the Jinx, as well as the miniguns right there. So you could have actually pushed that in and tried to force kind of like a upsetting back right there and trying to get a win, but it doesn't necessarily matter. The Toucan Hunters are going to try to even themselves out a little bit in Dragons. They're going to have about 1,000 gold lead right there. They're going to take the first dragon, get the AP AD buff, and they're going to go back and, you know, sit on their winnings and try to do something. But this is a very interesting situation that we have right now.
And this is something we end up seeing in any sort of game, sport, activity, where a lot of your advantage comes from pushing small edges and tiny little windows. Newer and more experienced players generally a little more hesitant to really use that advantage. They like to have a much healthier lead and margin of error to work with. But Funk MD trades a flash for a blue buff, as it looks like actually just gonna get that blue buff up. Anyways, Anias gets popped, but everybody revolving around like a picnic. Everybody picks it up on the moon as the engage comes over from the backside. Everybody flashing in, wanting a piece of this. Oh my goodness, base is wide open. Super's pushing in. If they can take advantage of this, party time gets caught out. That's a lot of damage missing on behalf of LTH. Super's at the door. Could this be it? No base race here, just pure power pushing.
Yeah, I mean, that right there was just, you know, a series of bad catch-outs. I mean, Funk MD got caught out pretty hard right there, and then it was just some really good catches by Gentlecat and Nice Girl Smile. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to really do anything about this. They're trying hard as they can, but at this point, you can just pretty much ignore the Malachi. Nice Girl Smile having so much damage mixed with that. The Shen Ultimate's going to try to do something. Malachi's going to go dead. Oh my god, but they're respawning.
They're respawning. Funk MD goes in deep. The scatter focus under the tower, costing them a little too much. But it looks like they killed off a couple of staggered on the respawn, as Tox already getting bursted pretty quick. Gonna flash out, but the tank's trying to do damage to the ADC. Here comes party time, though, for the cleanup. Should be able to clean up, too. Gentle Cat stuck in the base, no flash, and the flag and drag slowly becoming available. Like he's just gonna run in, try and stall as long as they can. But they spent a lot of time scattered between Asian Creeper on Maokai and the tower that I think they took a lot more damage than they needed to. Just hit the tower real quick, take that down, and then you can kill the guy.
Yeah, my God, is this like such a back and forth right here. And I mean, you know, even though this is back and forth, even though this is, you know, kind of what you can expect from something at this elo, the tower pushing and the coordinated catch-outs and chains of CC is something that you most certainly have to give Golden Age credit to. They have done a fantastic job at making sure that when one member hits CC, the other member's soon to be following up, and that's what you have to do when you're playing a composition like this. When you have the ability to stack CC, and you could stack it almost instantaneously, then you're going to be in a really good spot to succeed, and that's exactly what they did right here. You know, they push everything on and top of each other. You've got Baron spawning in 35 seconds, trying to do something what they can, but again, if GA can keep this up, if they can keep team fighting the way that they are, then they're going to take this team for a victory. LTH, on the other hand, they're really going to have to try to get some really good ward coverage. They're going to have to try to move around, try to, you know, pick somebody off, because you've got fantastic pick potential. You've got an 8-3-3 Ahri. That's not somebody that you want to mess with on a day-to-day basis at any point in time. And so they've got the ability to catch people out, and they have the damage. It's just, you know, Golden Age is doing such a good job at grouping up right now that I don't think LTH really can get that unless somebody gets caught out of position.
Weirder things have happened over the history of this program and in this game as well. So I know the last thing we want to do is really call it before it's over, because a lot of times we've called it before it was over, even though it was pretty much over, and it still ended up being turned right on its heels. So it looks like GA, knowing that the Baron is up, trying to make a move here. Wide open base on behalf of LTH, really discouraging them from pushing a fight or taking a fight that they don't necessarily have to. Pretty much, you lose a couple of members, you pretty much give up your base and game one at this point. GA playing the patient game. Bot inhib still not up. Should be coming up in very, very soon.
Oh, glory, glory.
Glory, glory, glory going in. Can they get the lockdown? Get zoned out. Great flame chompers to come out. A lot of times ADC jinxes wait till the last second to throw that out, but Asian Creeper got a little bit closer. Or flashed on somebody. That would have been a guaranteed twisting in advance. But Able Gamer actually the one getting caught up. A nice little smile comes around the outside. Everybody getting locked down. Scattered fight so far as Toxelry gets zoned out. Two going down so far. LTH turning this game around actually. Able Gamer gonna get bursted by the explosive charge as it looks like 3 down. Next is Gentle Cat. Everybody's there. Everybody's healthy. This guy is just a matter of time before he goes down. An ideal spark. Rotating around, playing ring around the rosy as they're going to make Jello out of Gumby. Clean ace. Actually 1 for 5 rather coming out from LTH. And they're going to turn this game around and head right towards Baron.
Yep, Baron number 2 is going to go right in their pockets right here, hanging up on their wall of successes. You know, that was a fantastic catch out. This is what I was talking about. They had the damage to follow up. A beautiful charm right there. Yeah, it was hit on Shen. You know, he's your quote-unquote support in that regard, but he doesn't have the tanky stats that you would see from somebody like a Top Shin with a lot of farm, and that's exactly, you know, what they did. They had the follow-up damage. You had Gentle Cat in a bad situation, TP'd way too late into the fight, couldn't get the kill right there onto Toxery until he mispositioned himself in the chase. But again, a really good job by LTH to do something right here. They've now got the gold lead. They have the Baron number 2. They're going to go back. They're going to buy themselves up. And again, just back and forth from both of these teams, not wanting to give us game 1, not into what to put themselves into a hole. They both want to win, and they're both doing everything they can right here on both sides.
Having that extra damage threat in the form of Funk MD is proving to be such a huge factor for Lutucan Hunters, because the gold disparity between the two junglers right now is at about 5,000. That is absolutely insane, but it goes to show how much these kills and assists tend to rack up, in addition to the 50 CS that Diana is ahead. The Golden Age finds a little something for themselves in the form of a dragon, as the rest of LTH says, whatever, we're just going to keep pushing mid. Bot Inhib has respawned, but is completely wide open, as is their own base, so the game of finesse still being called.
Yeah, they're going to have to continue to play this finesse game like what you're talking about, because when you're in the difficult situation of both your Nexus towers being taken down as Ideal Spark, I don't think you want to be in this front line right now, buddy.
Oh, looks like he wanted to go and backs right out.
That was a whole lot of damage right there coming out of Ari. She is sitting on a whole lot of gold and a whole lot of dragon right there. But no, you have to play this finesse game. You've got a lot of good vision coming out of Golden Age right here. They're making sure that they can see the jungle exits. They can see where they're going to try to rotate and move themselves around to, which is really good because that's what they're going to need to do. They have one fight. They ace them once, this game is over. Their base is completely wide open. LTH cannot afford to do this. So yeah, they got the turret. This is a really good job, but they're going to have to continue to be playing safe. They're going to have to continue to be playing something. You wouldn't necessarily see that from a team that's up 6k gold, but Asian Creeper
gets caught out. I don't think there's a lot they can do. Trying to turn it around as everybody goes in. He's still alive right now. Finally goes down. But that backline access from Diana proving to be too much. Now they turn around and the fight goes back and forth. Looks like they're still chasing. 2 down for LTH so far as Able Gamer goes in for the hero play, but gets turned right around. Bit of a scattered fight still. Party Time has a lot of damage. Ideal Spark losing the passive for no real reason. Why face check a bush that's not warded when you don't have any health on you, buddy? Like this game rather, going back and forth.
Yeah, you still have wave clear options right here from from the side of Latucan Hunters right now. So I'm not sure that they're going to be, if they do decide to try to push this out and get this, they're going to have to be careful. Spirit Rush still available on Party Time? No, they just decide to go right back off. The pings are coming out to try to help out the bot lane right here. And this is kind of the situation that we find ourselves in when we cast these matches. You see these teams that are, silver, gold, sometimes even platinum in a sense. And when you get to this point in the game, you're 35 minutes in, you're starting to transition into the late game of things. Turret goes down right there in favor of LTH, but still, you're not necessarily using the control management functions that you necessarily should be. Beginning of the game, fantastic wave management. Cat did a really good job at pushing waves out, getting things going for the mega waves it needed to do, but it's kind of fell off a lot right here coming as we transition into this late game. They're finding some difficulties. They're kind of doing the classic, push mid to win kind of strategy, but against both of these teams that have the wave clear that they do, that's just not something you're going to be able to successfully pull off. And so they need to try to find a way to pressure the map the other way, because the current win condition that they're trying to use is just not working out for them.
Reminders to all the viewers that this is game 1 of 2 between Team Golden Age and Team Latucan Hunters. Maybe their teams are going to get a chance to talk to their coaches between the matches, really figure out some problem spots that they need to polish out. One thing to play the rank 5 ladder all the time, but when you're up against a team that's been participating in the same program that you have been, definitely a different story. So it looks like they're finally trying to apply pressure to the naked inhibitor of Team GA. Wave clear coming out. Is everybody going to go on a group shopping spree rather?
Gonna try to do what they can right here. We've got Dragon in about 2.5 minutes, so that might be the next time that we see it. We see this a lot actually from the NA teams. I want to see if this changes when we actually go into the EU show match for tomorrow, but this is something that we see common amongst a lot of North American teams. They decide to pull this, let's fight for objectives, let's only do this kind of team fight situation, whereas you look at a lot of like the EU LCS and stuff where, they rely a lot more on skirmishes. You've got the Fnatic, really patented style of catching people out, doing the skirmishes and stuff like that, whereas you see a lot, again, of these North American teams kind of revolve a lot more around team fighting and, trying to go for objectives and stuff like that, and that's exactly what they're going to do, but Idle Spark.
Going in deep, gonna get kited back and forth though. Able Gamer, the fight is scattered. Carries on one side, tanks on the other as everybody gets collapsed on behalf of LTH. My goodness, look at the damage coming out of everybody as Tristana picks up one. Looking for resets left and right. One gets traded, but it looks like GA in the bad spot in this situation. Trying to ult out, doesn't make it out. As Ideal Spark the next one to get shredded. 4 go down in exchange for 1, and still plenty of damage to be found on the roster of the living members of Latucan Hunters.
Okay, so they don't have a quote-unquote Wombo combo team, but they hit every AoE spell on 4 members of Golden Age right there. Jinx and Annie got shredded immediately. Nice Girl Smile's not smiling anymore after something like that. A fantastic series of events in favor of the Toucan Hunters right there. They're going to go forward. The execution's actually going to come out. Rip to you, Meow the Great. You will be remembered forever. They're going to push down. They're going to get this right here. The death timers are slowly dwindling down, so they're not going to be able to get it. Oh, they're actually going to disengage right there. Gentle Cat, flexing his muscles and deciding to, force Toxery out and away.
At least they did get the tower. Wouldn't have been possible if Meow the Great didn't sacrifice himself for the betterment of the team. Selfless support play coming out. We'll see how that pans out, though, being down for 20 seconds when a bunch of big objectives, well, all the big objectives on the map coming online in the next 5.
Yeah,
So
you've got both the epic monsters up and available right here. Again, you still have the team fighting Scare on the side of Golden Age, but they just can't get caught out like that. You can't put Nice Girl Smile and Jif standing next to each other when you have such, front damage coming out of both Funk MD and It's Party Time, but they're not even going to contest it right there. They had vision, they had at least a little bit of vision to understand they were there, but they understood exactly what it was going to take to try to go into the victory. They're actually going to give it up, and what's GA going to do? The right thing to do, after taking something like that, they're going to push forward a little bit, try to pressure as much as they can, and they're going to try to get this 4th dragon, starting to scare LTH a little bit. When you have Aspect of the Dragon as your next objective in 5 minutes from this death of the current dragon right here, then that's going to be something on your mind. It's not something you want to think about. You like my voice?
Conditions. Absolutely. I always love your voice. You're my Night Blue caster.
Oh, don't even. don't even. We're not going to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did have Night Blue 3 take on the moniker, an alias of BC Jumpman, just specifically for the Summer School event. Go on Twitter. Let him know exactly how you feel about his donation of time. Didn't even have to check with his agent or anything. Just came right on in to help us out. But it looks like Team GA turning the game right back around as we've seen 70 times before. Oh, the LTH coming in. Are they going to be able to take this? They give flash in. Everybody on everybody here is GA getting blown up, but the damage going back and forth. GA's turn this time as Funk MD caught in the back lane. Coming out of Zanya's. I don't think so, as everybody besides Party Time is taken off the table. Surely, with no Nexus turrets, this is going to be the end.
Yeah, this is going to be the end indeed. That right there was playing your Protect the Jinx comp into pretty much perfection. Look how high Jif was right there. He was able to sit in the back, just shred everything that the frontline tanks were throwing at him. Not going to be able to be enough to take the victory right there coming out of Toucan Hunter. So congratulations to Golden Age. They're going to take the Game 1 victory right here. They're going to go into the break with a 1-0 lead and look to try to finish this best of 2 series 2-0.
Can they come back and get the 2-0, or are they going to go 1-1 for the day? But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give everybody a chance to talk to their coaches, talk to each other as these teams go into the next pick ban phase. They're going to be switching sides. Let us know in the chat exactly what you think is going to happen, but give us a quick break. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes. Enjoy the music.
nothing that they can do to protect a king and his fool. Caught in the fire, watch it burn. Ash to ash, now it's our turn. Take their kingdom down and smash it to pieces. Turn their feet around, they will leave defeated. They will crumble at the sight of our legion. If you want the crown, then you've got to break them down. Break them.
Break them down.
There is nothing that they can do to protect a king and his fool. Caught in the fire, watch it burn. Ash to ash, now it's our turn. Take their kingdom down and smash it to pieces. Turn their feet around, they will leave defeated. They will crumble at the sight of our legion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right into Champ Select for Game 2. Stepping off the mic, but BC Jumpman and Doombogey are going to take the commentating for this Game 2. Gentlemen, take it away.
Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get right into this, guys. I do have a special guest for you tonight. It's the one, it's the only, it's the dankest of the memers, Mr. Doombogey. How's it going, bud?
You know, I'm just excited to be able to spread my voice all across the globe.
That's quite a statement. So, all right, let's walk through this right here. We do have a side swap. So the Latukan Hunters are going to be on the blue side, and the red side is going to be occupied by the winners of Game 1. It's going to be Golden Age, and already they're banning that anyway from Nice Girl Smile.
Or that happens. That's also a possibility. Alright. Apparently the 80 carry wasn't in.
Oh, hang on. Shit, I didn't say.
So yeah, it sounds like we're gonna be hitting some music here. Just while we get everything reset up. We'll be back with the Champion Select.
Stop the time, hold your breath. You're the only one I see. Breathe me in, taste your lips. You're the only high I need. I'm losing control. Your eyes entice me. Just letting go. Your hold is stunning. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over. I feel you taking over.
Alright. Sorry about that, guys, but it looks like we are going to be getting back into the cast. Jump, you are returned, I am returned. Let us continue.
Let us cast the glorious League of the Legends like we have done for so long. Annie going to get taken away already. Taking that away from my scroll spell, she was kind of the bane of their existence. She had some really good, Tibbers ultimates right there. But Morgana, again, taken off, and Oriana as well, taking away from Party Time. These are some very focused bans that we're seeing right here in Game 2.
Yeah, so I think very specific things going on with that Morgana pick. You saw that Golden Age had this very, very team fight oriented that relied on getting down a lot of CC, especially, that I got the teams flipped because they flipped sides. What do you know?
Too much flipping.
Yeah, I know. So the thing that I was originally going to say was that LTH last game, they banned that Morgana because of the comp that they were trying to run. So they were running a very, very heavy pick comp that relied on getting like an RE charm or something like that to initiate the fights and initiate something. But if you have a support on the other side with a Morgana, it completely can nullify that. You just throw up that Black Shield and that Twisted Advance from Maokai, it can lead you into very scary places. So I like the Morgana ban if they're trying to go with that same sort of comp. But with this first pick Sivir, I don't know if that's exactly what they're going to be going for here, Game 2.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely correct. And, like what we talked about, you had such the team fight oriented composition coming out of Golden Age. And you kind of have a role reversal right here coming out of Latucan Hunters because already, I mean, they just first picked that Sivir. And so already they're making it known that they want to have their own kind of team fight comp and they want to try to see if they can find success from it. But the difficulty that you see is right there. You allow Golden Age to get right back into their comfort picks. They pick the Shen, they pick the Zac, and I mean, right off the bat, they're going back to what they did the last game.
Right, but at the same time, so like there's this dynamic of when you have multiple games in a series, and a lot of people have spoken about this before, but the idea being that, or at least in this specific situation, you can either kind of try to work on the comp that you had and see how you can improve it, and I think that's what GA is going to be going for in this specific game. But on the flip side, you have someone like LTH who looks like they're going to be bringing out a pretty maybe a different comp. The Nautilus and Maokai bands or our picks are pretty much the same, but the Sivir could kind of change up what they're trying to do with this game. So I wonder what they're sort of going to be going for in this case. And playing against just, it's going to be up to GA to adjust to what LTH is going to be doing with this game.
No, you're absolutely correct right there. And look at this. I really like this decision by Nice Girl Smile to pull the Ahri off of Party Time because, you know, Party Time's Ahri was very scary last game. She got very far ahead early and was able to, you know, try to push that advantage as much as possible. Now, they didn't end up winning that game, but that doesn't mean that Party Time had necessarily a poor showing on the Ahri. And so taking that away from her is going to be a really big deal. But, ooh, we might see some LeBlanc plays this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the... You kind of go against one again... You know Nice Girl Smile is going to be wanting to go for those all-ins, and if you can kind of take advantage of that with just another high-burst champion like LeBlanc, a little bit different from Ahri, not going to be probably rushing the Abyssal Scepter like you saw last game coming out from Party Time, but I like the potential that brings. It does bring a little bit more AoE to the team, whereas Ahri is going to be going for more of those pickoffs, so it kind of complements the Sivir pick a little bit more, as well as kind of the greater escapability that LeBlanc has. She won't be susceptible to ganks. You saw the... I believe the Jarvan roaming down. There is the Jarvan last pick. You saw the Jarvan roaming down last game coming out from Gentlecat, and he was not being very gentlemanly the way he handled Party Time's Ahri. So I like the switch up here from LTH, the flexibility. GH is going to be like, GG, run it back, replay. I'm not sure that that Jinx is 100% the right pick in this sort of comp for them. I think something like a Kog'Maw might have gone better if you kind of want to go for one of those, like, protect the AD carry strategies, which is what they had to go to towards the end of that game. I saw a lot of canceled auto attacks coming out from Jif last time around, and I wonder if he'll be able to step up his game for this second game.
Yeah, he's going to have to be very wary of that because, you know, they kind of got stopped in their tracks on all the engage that Latucan Hunters really wanted to try to pull off, but now that you add the mobility of the Sivir as well as the, you know, jump around kind of style that you see coming out of a LeBlanc, then Jif is going to be in a lot scarier position if he doesn't, you know, move himself around where he needs to go. But guys, we are going to go ahead and hop into a quick little music intermission. We've got about 3 minutes on the delay. When we come back, we've got game 2 of our best of 2 series for the Learning Fives Summer Show Match. This is twitch.tv/SS events. We've got Latucan Hunters taking on Golden Age for the game 2. Let's see what happens. We'll be right back. Alrighty, and it looks like we are live, guys, for Game 2 as we get headed out onto the Rift right here. We've got Latukan Hunters taking on the blue side right here. The Asian Creeper in the top lane, Funk MD in the jungle. It's party time in the mid lane. Toxery on 80 carry, and supported by Meow the Great.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And it looks like my co-caster has muted his mic.
Goodness.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
really
do it
good.
this
I was
time.
talking. I had such a good speech. It was a good time. It's going to be Cat in the top lane here for Golden Age. Ideal Spark playing Zac in the jungle. Nice Girl Smile, changing it up from the Annie, still sticking with the female character in that pop star Ari. And your friendly neighborhood bot lane of Jif and Able Gamer will round out the squad. Happy now?
I didn't do it this time. The production manager in my head right now is laughing because it wasn't me that muted my mic. So, going and looking into this, let's see what we have, dude.
You know, we have me being a little embarrassed for not pressing buttons. But honestly, I'd like to see kind of how they change up the start. You saw Jarvan in the first game on Cat going for that early level 1 camp. And then going for the TP back to lane, and it kind of set him a little bit farther back. You saw later on in the lane, he only had potions left over, whereas Maokai had 2 Doran's rings and a cloth armor, and he just couldn't effectively trade with the Maokai and couldn't go roam. So it kind of hampered his lane in the way he took advantage of it, but at the same time, I'd like to see Maokai go with the sapling toss start onto Wraiths and maybe be able to pick it up, but instead it might be LeBlanc actually getting the early farm here.
Yeah, she's one to actually, yeah, it looks like she's going to do...
She's going to get the 3 small ones.
Yeah, going to get those up, going to get those ahead, and that's going to give her a pretty good XP advantage coming into this.
Yeah, she's already got about half a level on Ari. Well, not half a level. Maybe like a third of a level on Ari there, but she really needs to take advantage of whatever she can when she hits that level 2 power spike.
Yeah, she's going to be able to hit it for us. She's going to hit it actually right as she goes into the minion, so she's not going to be able to do anything right off the bat right there. J4 is actually going to go ahead and go back in his own stuff. He's going to buy the same stuff he did last time. Going to go ahead and get that ward as well with the pots. And, you know, same old kind of story right here for the top lane.
Yeah, I think that at this point, Golden Age believes that, hey, we took care of that first game there. They don't really have to change anything up. As long as they improve what they were doing, it's up to LTH to kind of come back and show them that they can beat this comp coming out of Golden Age.
Yeah, I mean, this composition, you know, coming out of Golden Age right here is really going to be official and important. Is 2 huge CCs missed right there. Not only does Meow the Great decide to hook himself into a minion, but you have the short-range Shen taunt coming out right there. That was quite the debacle right here in the
Gank coming in here to the mid lane, though.
Oh, they're going to get it off. They're going to try to do something right here. Everything's trying to get popped. Party Time's not going to be able to do enough to pick it off, though. And already, that's going to be a flash blow. That's going to be huge for Golden Age.
Yeah, that's a really good job there in the mid lane. But let's focus on what's going on in that bot lane. I gotta say, the champion mastery points are really getting well spent here by the Shannon Nautilus. Those are some great misses, gotta say.
I mean, that's kind of what makes it so fun about this is, you know, people kind of rag on a lot of the lower elos and stuff, but, you know, when you have small situations like that, you know, you miss a hook, you do something, and it's kind of like back and forth, but actually the hook's actually going to land this time. Meow the Great, should I say, trying to do everything he can to push another missed taunt right there by Able Gamer, and I don't know, you know, Jif is scary from last game, but Able Gamer's just taunting with taunts, you know, that's...
That was some eloquent verbiage there. But yeah, I agree. Able Gamer not really needing that taunt right now. At this point, Toxelry on the Sivir is just so low that Jinx is going to be even able to zone out just by pressing down, just by pressing the Q button.
Yeah, the teleport's going to come in for Asian Creeper, though. The taunt's actually going to land right there in Able Gamer. They're going to try to move, try to do something, but here comes Funk MD. You've got the double buffs. You're going to be able to get something. Beautiful flash right there by Jif to get out alive and somehow, some way come out of this unscathed.
Yeah, that was a really nice flash there coming out from Jif. You just saw Diana get a little funked up there. She didn't really know what happened and couldn't really pursue that. Didn't want to get greedy. Didn't know where the Ahri was. And yeah, overall, nice play. But that will be the first blood. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, that was just very short, very quick, and you're dead now. Nice Girl Smile picking up that kill. Picking up first blood 2 games in a row right here. already showing that she is a grill, confirmed grill.
For reference, it wasn't actually her getting first blood. He died for first blood. First game.
No. Nice Girl Smile got the first blood.
No, the
party-
Ari.
oh.
The Ari got
you're
the
right.
first blood both
Okay,
times.
sorry, I'm thinking of champions. My fault.
Yep. So yeah,
Alright.
it's a little confusing, but you saw in that first game that Nice Girl Smile plays a very, very aggressive mid lane. Both times going for the first buy, needlessly large rod, not opting for any sort of defensive items, not opting for a hell of a lot of potions or anything. Really, really aggressive. And she's playing champions that complement that sort of style, especially with that Annie. And if you can kind of force a LeBlanc to get behind in lane, it can spell disastrous for the enemy team, just because the LeBlanc has a hard time catching up.
No, you're right, but she's going to try to alleviate a little bit of, that early fall behind that she had, and she's going to actually get the double Dorans right here as well as the boots, so she's going to want to try to move around a lot. You've got level 6 being hit by Nice Girl Smile right there, going to try to do something, if anything, at this point, and already you're starting to see a very early pink ward coming out of Jungle Cat. I really like this decision to try to get this early secured vision as Ideal Spark is lurking into the waves. They're going to have it. The slow is going to come down. He's going to try to do everything he can. You've got the flash available from Asian Creeper if he wants it. Knockup's actually going to miss, but the bounce is going to land. He has the flash, but I don't think he wants to necessarily waste it. Nope, he's not going to get it. Gentle Cat's going to pick up that kill, and a very good, well-coordinated gank right there with that pink ward.
So, I know you like to try to save your flash for as late as possible there, but you really needed to flash if you were the Asian Creeper. There's no reason why you don't. You could have still survived. Yeah, they can flash after you, but flash for flash is still worth it in a gank-like situation like that. I don't see him going for any sorts of kills. His TP is down at this point. So, that flash being on cooldown for him doesn't really impact him that much, and you want to prevent that Jarvan from snowballing in any way possible.
No, you're absolutely right, especially since we have Gentle Cat loving to go for that 80 Jarvan. Doesn't really care so much about these tanky stats early. Wants to just be able to crank out a whole lot of damage. But, you're starting to already see a little bit of a difference right here coming out of Asian Creeper. Last game, he decides to go for the double Dorans to try to help some early sustain. But instead, he decides to go back and actually buy the Glacial Shroud right there. So already trying to tank up a little bit more, a little bit faster to try to stop this early snowball that we might see coming out of Gentle Cat.
Yeah, I like the buy here. The Shroud works just fine. As long as you end up getting like a Tabby as well, you can just shut down the attack damage coming out. The only problem with that is there is still the Ari to worry about once you get into that late game. But you're Maokai, you can kind of build whatever you want, and resistances are always great on Maokai.
Oh yeah, resistances are indeed right there. They're going to actually do a really good job at denying that cannon minion. That's what it's called. Cannon minion right there from the blue side bot lane. So again, even though you kind of pick this Sivir Nautilus lane, which is very, C9-esque because they were one of the worst ones to pull it out right there, you're seeing a very good domination right here from Jif and AbleGamer. They have done a fantastic job at making sure to, at least stay even and actually a little bit ahead right here in farm. And that's exactly what they're going to need if this Jinx wants to be able to scale up and use her damage to help mitigate a lot of the utility that you see Toxery going to be able to pull out.
So I just want to point something out real quick. I've noticed the past couple games, just something in case everyone else didn't notice, but while we've been looking at this bot lane, AbleGamer on Shen has been not only missing some taunts, we can forgive those, but the way he's been using his Relic Shield passive, I'm beginning to question a little bit. Game 1 I can understand, it seemed a little sloppy, but here, he's letting his Relic Shield just generate, as he takes care of it right away. He's letting it generate stacks and not doing anything with it for quite a while, and also not saving it for the cannon. If you can save your thing for the cannon at all, oh god.
Oh, the double taunt's going to actually hit, but Toxery doing a really good job at spell shooting right there. Ideal Spark's going to get spotted out as he tries to do something, anything at all to try to help. He had the bounce available, but it was going to be way too far away, and again here, a really good job by both Toxery and Mal the Great to respond to the ganks that they're trying to pull out for them.
Yeah, it's a good attempt at a gank. You kind of get Ideal Spark rolling on the Zac. He can get towards his items quicker. I like the effort here. Just unfortunate it didn't end up working out. But like I was saying, yeah, it's really important when you have Relic Shield charges to use them on cannon minions whenever you can. If you use it on a regular minion, it's 30 gold, but when you use it on a cannon, it's 80. So it's just like a 40, straight up 50 gold advantage every time you use it.
Yeah, again, they're going to try to go in. Oh, Shen's actually going to try to synchronize up with this a little bit. Meow the Great's going to get caught out right there. Here comes the teleport. Asian Creeper and Gentle Cat actually falling in to try to do something. Meow the Great goes back in, hits level 6. Going to be able to get the knock up on Jif. You've got the on the hunt there for some style points, and they're both going to actually survive by the skin of their teeth. Meanwhile, the mid lane trying to do some stuff, if anything, to try to get something going right here. But again, comes out alive. Both of these teams right here are just, ducking, dipping, dodging, evading everything that the other's throwing out. But that being said, tower's going to go down right here in favor of the Golden Age, and first tower's down for them and spotting about a 2.3k gold lead.
You missed 2 of the 5 Ds of dodgeball, but I will forgive you for that one. One thing I want to point out is you have a trade here, and there's going to be a lot of damage going down onto the top tower here for Genocat in the top lane. The issue is that Maokai canceled his TP, but Genocat on Jarvan did not cancel his, and it didn't really serve any purpose. He burned a flash for Sipper's flash, not really worth it. I think the tower could have been gotten anyways, and I think it might have been worth it to save the TP, kind of stick around to that top lane, and not miss out on the farm. But at the same time, he's already up 20 farm. What does he have to lose?
Yeah, exactly. He's got the kill as well as the farm in his pocket. And, chat's pointed it out, and I want to go ahead and make it clear to everybody as well as, actually say that. I might have to pause right here. Party time. Ooh, there's one dodge. She's got the ultimate available to do the second dodge. Dodge is going to come out right there as a rotation from Funk and Meow are going to try to move around a little bit. But no, during that last engagement right there, in all of the debauchery that you were seeing, Jif actually fat-fingered the level up once he hit level 6 and leveled up the Chompers instead of the Super Mega Death Rocket. That was a huge, kind of unfortunate mistake that he ended up pulling out right there, not being able to secure the kill on Meow. And even though they got the tower, a kill would have been a lot better in your hands.
Oh, speaking of kills, here comes Ideal Spark to go ahead and ruin Toxelry's day in whatever way he can.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do too much right there. The Chompers hits, bounce, taunt, I mean, pretty much every piece of CC that you have. He's going to just sit there. Able Gamer's going to walk away, give the kill over the AD carry, do a really good job, and all the problems that we were facing right there just didn't really get alleviated. And this is going to be an advantage right here if they decide to do this dragon.
I mean, yeah, they're up 3 kills at this point. They do have quite a bit of gold in their pocket, especially on Ahri. Ahri rocking about 2,400 gold. But they will be going for this dragon here. Funk MD going to see what he can do to stop it on this Diana, but they're going to pull it out, and there's probably not much, it turns out.
Yeah, they're not really going to be able to do too much to try to get this. I mean, you don't have any TPs available. You're down an 80 carry, which the 80 carry in itself is a whole lot of your team fight potential with that on the hunt. The Q is going to come out from Funk. It's not going to prove enough. First dragon right here in favor of Golden Age, and they're already off to a really good start. Last game, they kind of, faltered a little bit in this early game. Lutukan Hunters did a very good job at controlling a lot of the early game, and, generally you would hope to see that again, but I mean, rocking a 3k gold lead at 13 minutes in the game is huge in favor of Golden Age.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big, but you do need to take advantage of it. We saw that the team fight comp that came out from Golden Age, even though they were down, can kind of alleviate for some of that. So, like, the compositions once you get into the late game don't make the goal difference matter as much, but I wonder if they're going to be able to extend this before they get to that point, and because that should be their objective. And a big way of them doing that is having Ahri go back. Nice Girl Smile is going to be going back with 2650 gold, or not, but I think it's really critical that this back needed to come earlier. Basically, sitting with that much gold in your pocket isn't really doing anything, and there's not much you can do in lane against the LeBlanc at this point, who's also sitting with about 2500 gold. And then, second to that, you pick up the blue buff right before you go back isn't always the greatest use of blue buff, because so much of that blue buff's time is going to be spent back at base. So I think if Nice Girl Smile wanted to be going back on that Ahri, she should have delayed that blue buff until she got back.
Yeah, the second that both of these mid laners go back, it's going to be a huge power spike for them both, and seeing exactly what they're going to do as far as a change of aggression is going to be, kind of a telltale sign for how this mid game is going to go. Toxery actually picking up the red buff right there on level 8. Able Gamer going to drop down the pink ward, trying to help out, best he can. It helps secure a little bit of vision. And, for all intents and purposes right now, some really good pink ward usage. 4 out of the 5 maximum pink wards being used in favor of Golden Age. And this, I really like this decision by them to try to do something like this this early in the game.
If you looked at about 5 minutes in the game,
we're actually going to have to take a pause real quick on that, as the Cataclysm is going to come down right there on Asian Creeper. He has flash available, so he can try to get it. He's trying to make it back to the wall, but it's not going to be enough right there. Ideal Spark picking up that kill. That is a very difficult time, and this tree is just not having fun right now. As, Ahri picks up that kill right there as well on a party time. Oh, wow. This is a very snowbally lead that we're seeing come out of Golden Age already in this game.
They need to keep doing that, and Nice Girl Smile with the aggression. When you're party time, you know that you're playing against a very aggressive laner. She's diving you left and right as much as possible. And Double Dorans just doesn't stack up to Needlessly Large Rod when it comes to those sorts of all-ins. So if you're LeBlanc, you need to be able to respect the Ahri combo, respect the amount of damage that's going to be coming out from Nice Girl Smile. And obviously Party Time didn't there and got punished for it.
Yeah, got punished indeed. And this is going to be a very rough spot right here for, LTH. They're going to have to really try to ban themselves and go around. And, we can talk about how much of a teamfight comp that they have and the dive potential that, ensues from the picks that they decided to go. But you have a teamfight comp as well coming out of the side of GA. And, when they're this far ahead, we saw how good they were at protecting Jif last game. When you're assassins that can't dive, are not capable of diving this game any more than they were last game due to their lack of gold and their lack of items, then they don't want to have to pick a fight, and so they really need to focus on securing vision, and they're really, pretty much doing their best that they can at trying to do so. Let's see if it actually, works out for them. Oh, it might actually roll as the taunt. Oh, a huge taunt right there missed by Able Gamer. It's not going to be able to do something. Funk MD's going to zone out the Ahri right there. Super Mega Death Rocket trying to get something. Gentle Cat's got his ultimate available. The Ravenous Hydra's completed right here. Cataclysm's not up for a few more seconds. It's not going to be enough right there. Ahri picking up that kill. That's going to be another kill for her. She's at 3-0 right now, as well as a kill onto the Jarvan. And my God, that was a huge misplay right there from LTH.
Yeah, that was a really big turnaround coming out from Gentle Cat with the TP from Jarvan. I think poor target focusing from LTH in that fight. You saw that Diana really wanted the Ahri there, but unable to pick it up, and the rest of the team kind of splitting their damage, proccing Zack's passive, but not actually able to do anything with it. Just kind of need to call your shots a little bit more. If you're going to take a fight, you need to have objectives, what you're going to do with that fight, and instead of having objectives, they give up one, as that first tier tower will be going down in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's 5.5k gold and 7 kills. And the most important thing is, look at where the kills are right now. Support is playing his true role right there. Able Gamer going 0-0-3. Going to be able to go back and might have enough. No, not going to have enough for the face of the mountain, but it's still going to be pretty close. And again, though, Nice Girl Smile putting the team on her back in this early game right here. This is a really good showing that we see, and, really putting the hurt on his party time.
Yeah, I mean, picking up the Luden's Echo just does it that much more. You just get that extra bit of damage, that quick little spike before resistances kind of play a bigger factor. Ahri's just going to be putting out so much damage here. On the flip side, I'd say the biggest difference from this game is you don't have...
Oh, the Cataclysm, though. Oh, that came in. You 2 levels ahead right now, Gentle Cat. He's going to be able to do something. Asian Creeper doesn't have the flash available. The flash is available from Gentle Cat, though. Yep, he's going to do it. Oh, he misses the flag and drag. He doesn't get it. Does it backwards. That's not going to be enough.
Yeah, you need to really practice those if you're going to be playing Jarvan there in the top lane. But another dive here coming from Nice Girl Smile. Just really easy. There's no tower to protect party time. You have the Luden's Echo and the Abyssal Scepter, and Morello's isn't going to save you from that. Once again, we have a pretty far behind mid laner here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just proving very difficult for them to try to do something. 0-3 and 0. She's keeping up in farm, best she can, but sitting on nothing but a Morello Nomicon when Nice Girl Small not only has the Ludens, but the Abyssal as well. Fourth going the boots. I mean, this is just full YOLO mode right here coming out of Nice Girl Small.
Yeah,
going
if
for
you
the
know
items.
Yeah, if you know you're going to get all-in lane a lot, this party time really needed to start roaming, because she needs to create some ability to generate gold other than just farming. And if you're going to get killed in lane, you need to be able to roam to another lane to do that. The problem is top tower and bottom tower died so early, and LeBlanc never got the chance to roam. She just sat and had a farm lane, and Ahri will win that day in, day out, especially when she's getting gank support from the Zac as well as winning fights. So it's just kind of a formula for disaster here for LTH, and that's what's going to be having them have a killless game so far and just losing tower after tower.
Yeah, I mean, they're really putting a lot of the pressure on, and look at how slowly but surely they are, really starting to dominate a lot of this blue side jungle with ward coverage as well. Something that, you pride yourself in with a lot of these higher elo teams is their ability to not only move themselves around the map, but have vision as they're moving around. And, establishing a lot of this early vision deep is going to be really good. You've got Baron in about 13 seconds. You've still got about 3 to 4 minutes right now on the Dragon, but still acquiring that early vision, now before anything is really up is going to be very good, because you're going to have the vision of where everybody is, so you can reposition yourselves and rotate around when you actually want to go in and either refresh those wards or move them to somewhere else when you start prioritizing vision for your objectives.
Yeah, so it's always great to get vision whenever you can on the map. The problem with that is a lot of teams don't recognize where that vision occurs. They just think if they put down wards anywhere, it'll just be fine and dandy and it will take care of itself. The problem is you really need to, when you're placing wards, especially as a support and a jungler, you need to think, okay, not only where am I prioritizing right now, where are the objectives that I'm prioritizing, but where am I going to be going in the next 3 minutes? Because that's when those words will come in handy. Where am I going to be needing vision in the next 3 minutes? Because of that, you always have to look for the future. You always have to be the one with a game plan in mind. And it's hard for a lot of lower elo players. They don't really know the overall status of the game, how things are going to flow, and they kind of crumble when it comes to placing wards in key strategic locations.
Yeah, and this is something that kind of shows to the strengths of this Learning Fives program as a whole, because, like you said, one of the basic 101 concepts of Ranked Fives is, making sure that you can establish vision on top of the communication that you're having. And so being able to do this is just a really good decision. But here comes on the hunt. They're going to want to try to get Gentlecat right there. The Cataclysm's going to come out. He's going to get caught right up in a beautiful taunt right there, hit by Able Gamer starting to try to get something. Stand Aside's going to come down to try to help out Jinx a little bit right there. Nice Girl Smile's going to be able to pick it up. Oh, but that's a double kill actually right there in favor of Jif right now. They're going to get something. Another taunt hit, a good spill shield to try to help it out right there. Able Gamer picking up the kill. Jinx is still excited, still wanting to go. Ideal Spark has the jump available.
Oh, the ultimate's still up as well.
Oh my god, that was a beautiful. That's going to be, oh baby, a triple right there. That might actually, yeah, they're healthy enough. That's a Baron.
Yeah, that's a bad way of pronouncing a graphics interchange format, but it's a really good way of saying kill. Jif putting in work that fight. The real big difference between that fight and the last one was how that Diana worked in those fights. So what you had last game was you had Funk ND always jumping onto Jif there on the Jinx and just blowing up the Jinx. But instead, here, she's not able to do any damage, and it leads to a quick 22-minute surrender.
That was the first surrender we have ever had in a Learning Fives show match right here. Wow, that was a demoralizing win right there in favor of Golden Age. But guys, they're going to take the 2-0 victory right here, doing a dominating performance on all of the Latukan Hunters tried to throw out at them. So a really good job, a fantastic series. And guys, that is going to do it right here for the casters. I'm going to pop it back over to Josh so he can, talk to you guys for a little bit, kick us for the outro. But guys, thank you so much. I was BC Jumpman for the night. I had Dune Bogey alongside me. Thank you guys so much. And Josh, take it away.
Thanks so much, guys. Great cast on the game. We saw there as GA manages to take the clean 2-0 victory over Latukan Hunters. For those of you who are interested in the Learning Fives program or interested in anything we do at Summoner School in general, check us out at reddit.com/Summoner School. And if you're interested in this program specifically, we do have our Europe West, our EUW show match happening at 8 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. And I believe that is at, plug it into Google, figure out exactly when that is in your local time zone. 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. All you European players, come out and watch and support your EUW friends. But that is going to be it for our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for those who tuned in. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at SSEventsLol. It's going to be spammed in the Twitch tab below. But if you have any more questions, anything at all you're wondering about the program, tweet at us at that account, and we'll try to get answers out to you shortly. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.